I like this fit. It's cool. We just hit Pro 2. This look like Jalen Rose right here.
Wait a second, man. We're on 2KTV. Play well out there.
Make 10 3-pointers, alright. The objectives and stuff of this game is decided, man. I done kinda chilled out a little bit since the last stream. I was on D Machina earlier. Going to be objective here. The gameplay of games and the playability of games is really kind of a selling point that I don't really think that we really focus on. So, to me, how many hours of playability does 2K have? I would say fairly a lot. In terms of, like, I don't feel like, in a way, you should just be making builds to be making builds. I know that sounds a little bit ridiculous, but that's what I just did, in a sense. Working on this 2-way, 3-level post score that I got, or whatever. I think it's halfway decent, but give or take, if you had to ask me about it, I think that this year, the whole My Player Builder is good and bad in a way. Someone might say I'm bad on defense. I'm going to break down my badges for you. I don't really get a lot of defensive badges, but then again, I'm still kind of OP. Because anyway, I formulate, like, if I really had a tough lineup or somebody I want to go against, and I could really go and change the stuff because I got a Mamba mentality. Nothing wrong with that, I feel. Is it balance? No, we could say whether or not stuff is balanced. Who is Buzz Love? He's a center. I might run with him. Consider. Keyword consider. He's halfway decent, but if not, power forward, scoring machine. That 2-way stretch glass finishing like something. Oh God, he sucks. It's funny when you come down for some of these people, man. They're good. Shoot. I don't know. We might just do server switch, honestly. That's what I'm feeling. I could be a higher rep than I am now, but I want to play kind of conservatively, and if that makes any sense, because the way I see it, it's not that I feel like everybody's bad at this game, but I feel like the majority of the people that I play with, I shouldn't probably play with. Everybody's. See if I got any friends on this show. I know I have some friends playing this. Afghan dude, power 4, 6'9". Y'all can see my winning percentage. I mean, I'm not bad. 67.6. We can get that to about a 70, 75. If playing with the right people, we're doing the right stuff, we're making good plays. The way that I see it, comp people talking about, you know, playing comp. I think comp does exist, but comp is that's a very sparing, just use that word very sparingly. A lot of people is not as nice as you think they are. I'm not saying I'm nice. But there's people who exploit the game or are good at exploiting the game. You really can't abuse screens. There's not really any type of abuse really at all, like brick wall. Like nobody's abusing that. I would say it's a little bit difficult to abuse, you know, brick wall, use these OP screens because the animations you get, you don't really get those anymore. And that's very honest. I don't really use screens at all. I don't hide behind screens. I don't really know anybody who does. But a lot of people complaining about the game, how the defense here is very, you're not sliding. That's the one thing I will say. You're not really sliding. And I don't want to make a one-sided statement like saying that games and stuff are bad. I think this game right here, and for what it's worth, I feel like you get enjoyment out of it for a short period of time. But this game is only going to be fun if you got people to run with. I mean, I'm doing what I can. What is it I even unlock it from to? Because I am lost. The city. Custom jersey. Show off animations. Lighter. I feel like the major focal point for 2K22, it's a little bit too early to say. I feel like this is a successful launch, relatively speaking, despite the, you know, the issues that plague 2K. But I wouldn't go in 100% optimistic saying this is going to be, the next game is going to be the smoothest transition, because there's a lot of quirks that even this game hasn't even really figured out. I know everybody's going with the 6'7" power forward. For what it's worth, I mean, I don't have a problem with the 6'7" power forward. I feel like very sparingly, the builds and stuff, every build is good at something. Every build is unique. Like, for instance, the offensive initiator, that build was very good, but it takes a very skilled person to know how to use it. And then the rebounding guard was like, it's like that. But you know, nobody talks about the rebounding guard at all. And that's pretty honest. Nobody's like, oh yeah, the rebounding guard is like, you don't really hear that much hype about it. You can still make the build on PS4, but you can't make the build on PS5. I'm not even sure they'd be able to call it, really. My whole thing with games now, man, if you paying money for a game, get a game on sale. Get a game on sale. Because if not, you're going to really be in some pain. Offensive threat. Peanut. Who is Peanut? Peanut plays Peanut. Offensive threat, no. I sell no comp. Let's see. You really want to choose your matchups wisely here. And I mean, I'm not running. But at the same time, I don't want people to say, oh, you know, you running, you care about your stats too much. No, I'm just trying to have a fun time, not trying to break my controller. Baseball gaming. Whatever his name is, baseline. He just airballed, yeah, there's no way I'm playing with that. If not, I'll probably play zombies or something. You know, the games that I feel like are good, you know, you have to have definitely people to run with, or else it's going to be not fun. There's no way I'm playing with those guys. No way. If you talk about running from games, I mean, you gotta do what's smart for you. Like, I'm not scared to face anybody. If anything, I'm pretty good. I can run 1 through the 5 pretty good. Someone might say I play guard. I'm not really a guard. I mean, small forward. This build is basically a guard, if you think about it. But the thing about a guard, in my opinion, a guard's job is really to get open shots. With or without the use of screens. That's the major focal point that I think that 2K has kind of got wrong in a way. The screens and stuff, the biggest problem I feel like 2K's had in recent years is the use of screens, vacuum screens really, putting you in the animation where it's like, you know, you're not going to be able to move. But at the same time, you're not recovering enough for a contest. Like, even with this, if someone's really glitched out or, you know, flashy with it, you're not getting the ball. I mean, you're not. Like, the contest system is even worse. I remember 2K19, the shot creator, when everybody literally had a shot creator, playmaking shot. You can still make it on here. I still think it's a little bit OP, but you don't really see it. It's very sparingly. Everybody's an offensive threat, scoring machine, two-way scoring machine. It don't really matter. Basically some two-way threats, but it's not really a variation in the builds, in my honest opinion. You see the same builds. You got some builds with 8 shooting better than what you call it, a regular doggone player. I think that's a little bit ridiculous, but I think it's about your shot selection. A playmaking. What is this dude? Inside out score. Two-way threat. You see a lot of these builds. I be telling people that a lot of builds you don't really see any variation. It's like the same 5 or how many other builds you see. No variation. I'm not mad at that, but if we have to be completely honest, I mean, what's so different about the games each year? With 2K, maybe a few new additions to rookies, that's a selling point, but gameplay-wise, very few improvements. What I mean by that is, like, you know, 2K's always had a moonwalking glitch, if you know what I mean. The dribbling, people will be moonwalking. Basically a glorified travel, you know, they just keep moving. That was easy to guard, but, like, you weren't really used to it. Nah. In 2K19, they really messed up the beginning of it, the shoving. You could shove somebody on the inbound. And then the inbound, not take the ball glitch. That really killed the game. I never used it. And then if someone got the poke score and then like a sharp or that was toxic. Brick wall's kind of been a little bit scaled back a little bit, you know. I see a whole lot of people that don't really use screens. I personally don't use screens. I think that's a good thing. Me personally, I think that works. I mean, I might play out here on my Big in a minute and probably stream a couple games of that for you guys. Be honest, just look for a park game or something, easy twos or something. Find somebody to play with. Hopefully. Or we can just keep on, like, visit the city, just reset. People are mad about just the stage. To me, the stage shouldn't be in the game mode permanently. I mean, they did reduce a lot of the cheese and stuff like that. I can see that, the 1v1, the post scores, but like I said, 2K is a game about animations. Like, if you're not really familiar with the franchise or the series, really, um, man, or even if you're late, like my first 2K game was like 2K. The 2K with Kevin Garnett, I think it was 2K9. That's my first 2K. That was my first time really playing 2K. And I beat my friend down. That was terrible. My neighbor up the street, I beat him down on that my first time. I had no idea what I was doing. I think I had Kevin Garnett or something like that, but I wasn't really that in tune with basketball at the time. But I've been on 2K, and then the other 2K, I didn't play 2K for like 3 years. Then my first real 2K was like 2K10. So that wasn't that bad. You spamming. You spamming. Small 466 20 threat. Vontae. He's a power 4, 6'7", 210. The way I see it, a lot of these parks and stuff, they're not filled to capacity, so the lag is very bad. Did they even count this as its own server over here? I want to know how this is working. So yeah, I think they have two servers co-independently running for this. I didn't know, because I wouldn't even take into account what's going on over here. So there isn't that many games over here, so I'm not like. And that guy was even planning on doing so. He's gonna get kicked out pretty soon. The way I feel about most games now, the initial investment is just a lot. That's just me being honest. Like, I feel like there's nothing wrong with me being honest about what I feel about a game. I think 2K is good. I think 2K is a very great game in aspects, but it's flawed. the last, I would say, since 2K17, give or take, 2K17, people were playing like they weren't playing, if that makes any sense. Like, I remember at the beginning, playmakers had like 74 3 ball, and they were making sharpshooters basically non-existent in a way, because there was really no point of making a sharpshooter at that time. But I mean, people did. I had a sharpshooter, because you got everything in a playmaker. You could dribble the shot clock out. There was no penalty at that time. You could just dribble. You couldn't do anything. People sat down 2K17. It was so easy to guard the cheese. I really don't think that it was really easy to guard the cheese, as people would like to make it seem. That's me being honest. I had a stretch. I had a glass cleaner. I mean, I was never really bad on 2K17, but in all seriousness, I don't really think that the 2K really got a hold of the stuff. I feel like that's where the archetype stuff started to come in. 2K19, they sort of got it right, but then again, there was a lot of gameplay issues within the whole game itself, and that didn't get addressed. To 2K20, and 2K20 in a way, we know how we feel about that. It was just support of 2K19 and laziness, sheer laziness on 2K's behalf, but I don't know. They released the same game twice in a row, and I don't blame people who say they're not buying 2K. Wow, I actually thought that was actually a corner. I'm a noob. It's supposed to be like a 5v5 court up here. Let's see if they have a connector. You can dribble up here, I'm pretty sure. Because there's a court. Or no, it's not. That was a glitch, but oh well. I got put in the Knights, so I didn't change my affiliation at all. I want to shoot around. I'll be paying attention though. That's the thing about me, so nobody's gonna really catch me slipping. I kinda like the Beast of the East chain. So when you like kinda green or whatever it is, you hear that little nut squish. Reminds me of Rivet, a lot of Rivet seeds, so that's what I was on 2K16 to start off. And at first I really didn't like 2K16, I'll tell anybody that. I started off with like a 80 winning percentage on 2K16. And then at the end of it I finished out with like a 70, I always been like a 70, a winning percentage of 73, between that range. Wow. guy's working with. What's that build? Snag. 93 power forward. It's not bad. I find it ironic that you try to steal my drip, but it's still inside of me, just cannot take a sip. Yes, I'm from the five, but I got family in the Let's go South City. Thought that guy was bad. I mean, he's not bad, but 2K just had a 21 option or just a balance, 1v1, no make it take it. I'll be cool with that. At least you get baked. You really can't say anything. The games will be about balance. You may not be able to stop every post score. That's how I wish Rush 1v1 was. No make it take it. They did that for the twos on 2K17 for a while. It was no make it take it. So if you legitimately got baked, when I would say 2K17 was terrible, at least had a fighting chance. There's no make it take it. Am I a fan of the twos? I mean, the twos it's easy. And when you have communication and you know how people play, people know how I play on PS4. I don't always have to score, but at the same time, you have to watch me. You really have to watch me. But do I think it's impossible for 2K to really make something better? I don't really know. Because everybody would possibly say that 2K17 and 2K18, 2K17 by far was probably a better game than 2K18 in terms of visuals. Gameplay wise, I feel like 2K18, no, honestly, people was doing exactly what the build said they were doing. But it was just poor execution, like a sharpshooting playmaker. You could finally make that build. You could shoot enough, but you can only get like silver shooting badges and then some gold. But you really want OP, but you were. But the build I think they should have really implemented back was like the sharp point forward. I mean, that's kind of what I am. I got a little bit of defense. I'm not 100% bad, but at least I got viable options, what it means I can do on defense and offense. Does someone think that? I think that the Curry slide was kind of not in the game. There's always been something, or OP6 that everybody use. Like 2K16, you could do the Jamal Crawford and then just press square to get out that animation. And it'll be, you could just Hall of Fame rim run, pretty much, an easy dunk. Spark dead. I personally believe that 2K, in a way, they've made enough money to monetize this game. Enough money to monetize. People say that I think that Fortnite falls off. I can't say that Fortnite falls off. They fall off brand-wise with this and like with the sponsorships and deals that they have with Ninja. Ninja doesn't focus on one game. People know that Ninja's very lucrative. He has a streaming deal. He plays different video games. I'm not mad at him for playing different video games. Diversifying. He has his own shoe. He He has his own line of apparel and his own like merchandise. But in my own theory and thought, I would think that Fortnite is not really. They're moving on from content creators in a way. There's no big tournament. I mean, there really can't be a big tournament they're hosting because of COVID. They can kind of do scrims or whatever. That's kind of what you call it. What is it called? Arena is, but you're kind of qualifying to make it to a tournament, where it's money and stuff on the line. But give or take, who do you know is really out here, like, getting to that level? The last person I know, well, not know, but we know about that really did something with Fortnite is Booga. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. He was the last person that really took off with that. Made this $2.1 million. It's a lot of money. Not mad at that. But the competitive pool of Fortnite, every game is going competitive, whether we like it or not. I don't think there will be a Call of Duty league this go around because a lot of pros and stuff are not really content with it. And then the map design is terrible. Messed up there, but at least I got my combo. But there's a lot more reason why I don't really do a lot of dribbling on here, like on the twos, because the dimension of the court is small. I don't really feel like that would benefit me that much to do it. I mean, I can do it, but you see what it is. I mean, I'm out here on the park. I could switch servers, but I mean, just want to talk to y'all about what I think about the game. You see me, I can dribble a little bit, so not 100% bad. I don't do all of this in, like, park game, because obviously I might hit a speed boost. Because people, the way I see it, there's a whole lot of people come in at the game on twos. They play it like it's the threes. I know some people are strictly threes player, and they play to the best of their ability at threes. So when they go to twos, the game is completely thrown off by that. But I see that some people, certain players that I face, I see them get decimated by me, and I'm not even doing ISO. Like, I don't really dribble or ISO people. I'm just playing the game to be playing the game. But if I know I ain't got a shot or something like that, and I'm playing very, like, passive, I mean, I feel like that's a good and a bad thing. I'm just letting the offense flow. The biggest thing, I feel like people not patient at all. They're trying to make something happen, and it's just not there. Like, behind the backs, in my opinion, are at least a little bit more easier to hit on. Like, I would say they're easier to hit on threes than they are on twos, because controlling the, I would say, the pro stick, you can change the absolute or relative. That helps a little bit, be a little bit easier. I mean, I just did it behind the back, but if I'm playing and people are playing me like high, I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm not going to be thinking about that. I'm just going to be thinking about getting to the bucket as quick as I can get. To do something like that, it doesn't really matter to me. As long as I'm scoring, as long as I'm winning. That was kind of a quick step, not really a quick step, the stop and go thing I just did because I know how to do it, but I'm just dribbling at this point. There's not that many people in this like server, so I might just bounce. If I don't really have that many games, I might play 2 games of on my center for you guys. I'm not gonna probably call it a night. I'm gonna just see what else I can play. Since I'm not in school per se, and then everything, I haven't dropped out or anything. I got like 2 more semesters and I'm done with school. I'll be out there as grown people instead. I'm going to figure out themselves, the real world. That's funny to me, man. Power forward. Snag DJ. Snag DJ.
Looking back on those nights at the beach, you and I buried love underneath. Now I hope that my message in a bottle will find you. Where can I find you amongst the stars? I thought I saw you falling from afar. I hear you somewhere.
I could get some dance moves and stuff like that, but I feel like that's not important. We'll go back up here. If not a game or 2, we'll just go and play a game of my career or my 2-way 3-level score. I've been looking for games. You know me, I'm not really afraid of a game. You get a game. It just depends on who's out there, what we can do. If I made a glass, I would say glass cleaner finisher doesn't sound like a bad build for me. But at the same time, I like to be able to shoot. On 2s, you really don't need to be able to shoot. But on 3s, definitely. You definitely need a shooter. Or have some type of shooting. Even if it's just a 73 ball. Because 73 ball, I mean, that's really for the corner 3. You don't really need a high 3-pointer for a corner 3, I don't think. But the thing I realized what 2K did, if your shooting rating is not really good and you got the shot meter on, your bar or whatever is going to be, like if you had a bar set by your feet, it's going to be a whole lot lower. So I think that's kind of interesting component. But a lot of games, in my opinion, I don't know, man. Like I played Watch Dogs earlier. Watch Dogs is good, but to me, does the game have a lot to offer? That's a very, I would say yes and no. The same thing with Red Dead. A game could offer a lot, but that's very limited in my opinion of what a game can offer because a game it could be single player for a little bit. We could agree on that. A game could be single player. You can play the game a lot in a way. What happens when you beat the single player? No content. Oh, he bounced. I might play a game on my center, I guess. Oh, two-way glass cleaner? OG Kaya? No, I don't think. Wow. Bounce. Crazy.